So this is expanding using the double distribute method. So as you see here, we have our binomial, and it's to the third power. And so what you're going to do is expand it 3 times, and then you are going to distribute the second into the third, and then that gets you the next line. And then you're going to distribute the first one into the other thing that you've already done, and then you're gonna get that answer right there. And then you're going to combine like terms. As you see, I have them underlined. And then when you combine like terms, you get 27x cubed plus 54x squared y plus 36x y squared plus 8y cubed. And you always want to go in order of x and y's. So this is expanding using Pascal's triangle, and as you see here on the left, it is Pascal's triangle, and the trick is that you add every one. So it'd be like 1 plus 1 equals 2, which is the middle term in the second row. 1 plus 2 is 3, and then so on and so forth. So because we are expanding to the third, you use the third line in the Pascal's triangle, and then you line up the numbers. So it'd be 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1. And this is kind of tricky, but when you do this, you take the x's and the y's and you put them in parentheses, as you see here. And then the first one would be x squared y to the 0, and then you kind of just go forwards and backwards. So the x's will go backwards and the y's will go forwards. Then you simplify that. Sorry, it has to focus. And then you get that, which you just multiply things and do the exponents, and then you're going to multiply everything together to get your answer. And I think it's pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, that's expanding using Pascal's triangle. So this is how you factor completely and using factor by grouping. So first you have your completed FOIL, and that's how you got that. So this is the complete opposite of FOIL. You're just trying to get to your either trinomial or binomial. So basically, you first take out a common constant, which in this case is 5, so you take it out, and then you have to factor by grouping. Factor by grouping is pretty self-explanatory and easy. You take your two little sections. So here we have x to the third minus 4x squared minus 9x plus 36x. You take the first two and group them, and the second two and group them. And then you also take out a common either variable or constant, which in the first case is x squared, in the second case it's negative 9. And you always want in the parentheses the same thing as on both sides. So then the same thing goes together, and then you put the numbers and constants on the outside in one parenthesis. And in this case, you can factor out more of the x squared minus 9, so I just did that, and then your answer is x minus 4 times x minus 3 times x plus 3. So this is another way to do a factor, and it's called synthetic division. And basically, you get an f of x and an f of x equation. So what you're going to do is you're going to drop each constant down and then make a box. And then the f that you get, which is the negative 3, you put on the outside of the box. So when you do this, the first constant that you have in the box, you drop down to the bottom. Then you multiply the x and the constant, and then you put it next to it. So as you see here, negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. And then you put it up underneath the second constant. And then you add those together, getting a new number. And you continue to do this all the way through until you have no more numbers. You do not multiply the last number. Then the f of x, so f of negative 3, gets dropped down into the f plus 3, as seen here. And then you see that the numbers underneath the box become another trinomial. And in the trinomial, you can obviously break it down by more factoring. And then you set each factor equal to 0, and you get the x. And then when you're finished with getting the x's, as you see here, you put the x's in brackets. And then when you get your X's, you're going to put them in braces. Now don't worry, Suhu, you're not going to have to get braces. These are braces. They're little squigglies, and they're like fancier paragraphs. They're fancier parentheses and kind of brackets put together, so they're like their love child. And you want to put them in lowest to highest, so -3, 3, 5 in this case. And that's how you solve with synthetic division. So, hey Suhu, I don't know if you can see my face or if it's just my boobs. So if it's just my boobs, I'll fix that. But if it's my face, I'm keeping all this in there. This, unit, it was kind of easy because I fairly remembered it from last year. So, I mean, it wasn't too complex, and, I mean, I remembered synthetic division, and then, obviously, factoring and all that. So it was semi-easy, and I think I'm going to do pretty good on the, what's it called? The test that we have tomorrow, or today, or whenever you watch this, or yesterday, or whenever you watch this. Also, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving break, because I know that you have kids, and I hope they're good, because, you know, that happens. So I hope you have a good Thanksgiving break. Eat lots of turkey for me, since I can't, because I'm a vegetarian. And have a good break. Love you, Suhu. Mwah.